Everybody, I'm Shane Connuck here with Phil Sims. Now, Phil, I know you haven't played in a football game in a while, but we see you here hosting this camp. We see you every year at the high school all-star game. We see you on CBS Sports broadcasting football all the time. What's made you want to stay involved with football so much?
I think I like it. That's what it sounds like. It's what I've done my whole life, and so to be involved in one way or the other, talking about it on TV, having a job, and these camps, really my son's the organizer, along with some other people here. Of course, Pope John has been great helping us here and really setting everything up. And I come to help him. And he's a great teacher, especially of quarterbacks and wide receivers, and I'm here just to help out in any way I can.
Also, now you coming from Louisville, Kentucky, how do you think your high school career that you had then was able to help you become the person you are now?
Well, my high school career, it was kind of like my pro career. We were not great, whatever, and then all of a sudden we got kind of good, and we actually, I think the only time my high school's ever been to the playoffs, we went all the way to the state finals, which was a huge shock because we were 5-5 during the year, but we won the 5 most important games in our conference. But football is you just go up each level. If you love it, you compete. Of course, you need some talent. You can just find ways to survive.
Absolutely, and you're working with now so many kids who really want to be where you are today in some way.
Right.
What would you say is a message that you might have to them?
Well, look, it's the same thing always. One, do you really love it? And it really has to be there. I mean, it's just like something you're just going to do whatever it takes to make it. Doesn't mean you will, but you'll be satisfied that at least you tried everything you could. But, the kids, they got to work hard. I don't think they understand. You want to be a receiver, you got to catch a lot of footballs, you got to do a lot of route running. And quarterbacks always tell them, what does Steph Curry do during the offseason? He shoots and he shoots and he shoots. Oh, I'll take a day off, I'll only shoot 500 shots. So quarterbacks, to get good and to be really good, they got to throw a lot. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm throwing with probably 5 quarterbacks here in the state of New Jersey that I really feel confident they'll be pro quarterbacks.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Thank you, Phil, for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Shane Connuck here with Matt Sims. Now, Matt, you played quarterback initially for Don Bosco, as Ryan just talked to you about.
Yes.
Now, anyone from North Jersey knows the excitement that high school football can bring. So, how cool was it to be the quarterback of a team like that?
It was great. It was a fantastic experience. Grateful comes to mind again just to be a part of that organization, that community as well, and to that school too, which was fantastic, especially for just a young man growing up in the Northern Jersey area. Don Bosco is a really strong community that kind of, it's hard to get away from, once you've been a part of it. And just something that I'll never forget, and that's why this event here is so important to me, because I just want to pass along some of those great lessons and those great moments that I had to some of these younger kids.
So I know your father played for the Giants. So did that make you grow up a Giants fan?
It did not. I could care less. I grew up as a Giant. Not I guess a pseudo Giants fan, but more so a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. And I was a Jaguars fan because of Mark Brunell. I liked the number 8. I wore 8. I liked the way that he threw it. And you have to remember, too, I was 5 years old when he retired, so I always kind of knew my father as just like a reporter guy, I didn't really think of him as like the athlete. I was raised more watching my brother play football, and that's kind of how I was brought up into the game.
With that said, constantly watching the NFL, how cool was it to actually be able to suit up for the New York Jets and other NFL teams?
That was a little bit of a surreal situation just because obviously, my father's a former Giant, and then growing up in the area and becoming a Jet, having a great experience there, playing really well, and something that I'll never forget, and something that I hope I can repeat here again soon.
And one last thing, what does it mean to you to be able to now come back and try and teach other kids who were in this position that you were in years ago, these things that you've developed and become so good at?
It's just one of those things where you just have all this information and you're just not sure what to do with that information, and then you just decide, well, I might as well just pass it along to as many people as I can. And that's kind of just been our mission for these past few years now, and it's really started to grow and manifest even more now, and hopefully after this camp we'll continue to grow it even larger.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Matt.